pouring some glue in now.
Correct. He's pouring the glue in the glue wheel, and that aids us in the gluing of the part because we're going to glue quite a bit of this product. The only part that isn't going to be glued is the two exterior glass surfaces of the bow. You can see he's checking to make sure there's glue on every internal part of the bow, and then he checks that out, and now he'll glue up the riser. You want to make sure that you have every internal part of the bow has glue on both sides of whatever it's going to be glued to.
Okay.
Now that the bow is prepared with glue and all parts have come together, it will be loaded into a press which will form it and hold it together until the glue is cured.
Now he'll make sure his glass and wood is all lined up straight. He'll check the ends to make sure they're not sticking out too far.
Now that the bow is completely lined up, an airbag will apply even pressure along the whole bow, and then a heater is placed at center mass to help it cure out.
Now we have the bow that's come out of the press, it's cooled down, it's ready to be side sanded. Okay. And what we're going to do is our operator is going to come in here and knock all this slag off it. We've got the bow, it's been side sanded. The operator's actually come in and knocked off the tip to the right length, and he's prepped the surface so that a tip can be glued on it. And what he'll do is he'll glue up the wooden tip. He'll put it in the tip press for 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And then once that's dry, he'll glue up the other end, flip it around, glue the tip on it, and put it in the press. And 2 hours later, we have tips on the end of the bow.
Our bow's taken shape. The sight window will be cut out and the tips will be shaved down. It will be molded, ground, shaved, sanded, widowed, buffed, filed, and a few other touch-ups it will need, all by hand until it is ready for the finishing processes. Whew!
Okay, this step here, Bobby's actually going to make the tip.
He's going to do cable lineup. So
cable
what he'll
lineup.
do, you can see he's done all the rough shape and everything. It's
Okay.
starting to really look like a bow now. He's going to actually put a cable on here, and he's going to find the center line of the bow.
Oh, okay.
Once he finds the center line of the bow, he's going to take it over to a sander and start narrowing this down to where the tip is very close to its finished width.
Okay.
After doing the cable lineup, the next step is to cut the notches that hold the string. The notches cut out on a template, so they're always cut on the same spot on every bow. The tip will then be filed and blended to shape, then sanded smooth and rounded. Then the riser will be smoothed out and rounded off on a pin sander. Now, our bow is just about ready to be tillered and weighed. Then, off to paint.
So he's going to check the tiller, and the tiller is the distance between the top and the bottom limb?
Right, on most recurves or a lot of recurves, you want the upper limb to bend just slightly more than the lower limb, okay, because you're pushing below center.
Right.
So basically what you have is you have a tiller stick. He measures it at the end of the riser, and then he buffs it to get the tiller right, and then he checks the weight. It looks like he's sanding off a lot of glass, but he's barely peeling off any glass.
So now we've got our bow ready for paint.
This has had one coat of paint put on it. It's had the medallion glued in. It's had the quiver inserts put into it. It's been silk screened. It's been lightly sanded. And depending on how the finish comes out on the first coat and how the wood absorbs the varnish, it may take another coat, but it could take 2 to 4 coats of paint to get this exactly like we want it.
Finally, our bow is being painted and finished. Aside from a few minor details and inspection, this is the final process. Good news for us, bad news for the deer.
Okay, this is the finished product. It's ready to get boxed.
Finished product, all it has to have done to it is has to have a hair rest put on it with a leather plate. Once that's applied, it's ready to put in the box. We'll put it in a poly bag, put the string with it, and then it goes into a box with a barcode, and that's how we ship it out. So this is a Grizzly, one of the older names and longer maiden models that we've been doing it bear archery.
Well, Neil, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
me through your factory.